Come on in, welcome to my home. I'm CM Coleman, and today we are finally going to flock the Christmas tree. Okay, let's talk about this for a little bit. I have seen a lot of flocked Christmas trees, and they look really great. They are wonderful. But one of the things that I have found is like they either are way too much snow on them, or the flocking, which is what the white powder, it's just a powder. It is a white powder that you sprinkle on your trees, and it can be kind of messy, but it was a lot of fun. Okay, let's get into this, because there is some things that I really want you to not do what I did. I want you to do as I say, not what I did. So, here's where we start. So the first thing you're going to need to find is a suitable Christmas tree, or a suitable wreath or branches, whatever you want to do. Once you have found those, the thing which I found which made it the absolute best is white spray paint. But the thing that you also need to do, please read the directions, because all of them are slightly different, and you do need to wear some sort of mask and some sort of gloves. I did neither. I was in my garage for flocking this, so airflow was quite good. However, the paint really is what got mostly on my hands. It wasn't horrible, and I didn't really touch too much of the flocking, but let's get into this. So when it comes to flocking, flocking works really easy. You wet your item down with a spray bottle. Don't overwet it or you'll have problems. And then you sprinkle the flocking on top of it. You want to get a nice even coat, and then you spray the flocking when it's on the thing so it's slightly damp. Then once it gets dry, as it dries, it hardens and it adheres to your tree. Of course, like anything which has fake snow on it, no matter what you do, some of it's going to come off. You can try sealing it, that sort of thing. I found that it is easier and probably kind of better to go ahead and just do this. Now, the few things I can warn you about. If you have a pre-lit tree, I would not suggest flocking that tree without going through and wrapping each individual light with a piece of painter's tape, so that way the flocking isn't blocking the light. Okay, that said, let's get into this. So the first thing that I did is I just put my Christmas tree on a stand. I did not use the stand that the Christmas tree will be on. And this Christmas tree I got from Amazon. I will leave a link down to it. And it is a pre-lit Christmas tree. However, you've already seen my video about pre-lit Christmas trees, so it was not one of my favorites. So I know that I'm not going to use that lights for a whole lot. So I had no problem with flocking it. So the first thing that I do is I spray painted it. Once it was up in the stand, I gave it a nice, good coating of white spray paint. Why did I do that? Because I wanted to have that feeling of snow without having to over-rely on the flocking. The flocking does give you a really cool snow effect, but then so does the white spray paint. In fact, the spray paint sort of gives you that, what would you call it, like a frosted, the morning frost kind of look on the tree. It gives you that, and it looks so good. But the thing which I did not do, and I should have done more of, I should have spread the branches out more. You really want to spread the branches out. And if I'd really been thinking about it, I would have done it so that I do the bottom layer, because my tree comes in 3 different sections. I would have done the bottom layer, then put the next layer on it, done that next layer, and then put the top layer on and done that top layer. One of the things I can warn you about is, if you want to have a tree that has that feeling of snow falling on it, don't completely spray it white. You want to have some green showing, and you want to have a lot more green showing than what you think, because, of course, the flocking will cover over some of the green. But it did give me that sort of depth, like snow had really actually fallen on it. So once this tree was spray painted, I let that dry. Cool, wonderful, we're all doing good. Then the next thing is I took a nice spray bottle filled with, I used just regular room temperature water, and I lightly spritzed the tree, like a lot. So I spritzed the tree, and then I originally was going to start off with what I did with the branches from last year, which was use a sieve and dust or a mesh strainer, and then put the powder into the mesh strainer and then lightly tap, 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 and sprinkle it on the tree. And I found that for big trees like that, that was a pain. It was a pain. I did find that I had a better way of controlling it, a better, faster way of doing it when I used the entire bag. I just cut the bag and then lightly sprinkled it over on top of the tree. Yes, I did go through and do light rounds of flocking and then mist and make sure that it all sticks together and then do another light round, and it just kept going and going and going until I had enough built up so that I liked it. Once I liked it, here comes the fun part. You know what I did? I did nothing. I let it dry. My tree luckily got to dry for about, what's it been? 24 hours. Yes, so my tree dried for 24 hours, and then we're ready to put it up. I know a lot of you are saying, but it's too early to put up a Christmas tree. It's not, no. But we will put our Christmas tree. It's actually going to go right there. And I do need to do some changing a little bit with things in there because, as I've said before, my theme this year is a snow-covered theme. So you'll also get to see me do more of the garland, which will have snow on it. But that will come later. We need to get the Christmas tree up. So let's do the Christmas tree, get it in place, and we will see how it looks. I will also put the lights on it as I'm putting it up because that will make a world of difference. So let's do that. That is the Christmas tree done. However, to be honest, let me show you the floor. That's the floor. It's a mess. It's going to have to be vacuumed. But I think the Christmas tree looks great. All right, so that took just a few minutes. I think the Christmas tree looks great. I think it looks great. There are lots of different things I can do with the Christmas tree, with the lights and everything, but that gives me 2 sets of lights on this Christmas tree. And yes, there's probably about 600 lights on the Christmas tree. That's a full looking Christmas tree. I like the colors, I like what I can do with it, and since it has 2 separate things, so you have the white lights that were on the Christmas tree to begin with, because it was a pre-lit Christmas tree, and you also have the strand of lights that are in there, so I'll be able to control it in different ways. But that was it. That was flocking a Christmas tree. It is so easy, but it is messy. It is time consuming. You have to have it where, like, if it's a damp day, forget it. You're not going to want to do your Christmas tree then. You want to do your Christmas tree when it's going to be dry. You want to do it with wearing a mask. It will shed everywhere because, as you can see, it came off. You can keep spraying it down till it stays rock hard, but like with every flocked Christmas tree, some of it's going to come off. And you can re-flock it as you need it for the next year, but I like this so far. This is really easy. You can do this. You can do this with garlands, wreaths, ornaments, and it doesn't have to be like a pine thing. You could do it with on like a piece of wood, that sort of thing. It's really easy. Just spray. You want to spritz it lightly, let the powder stick to it, sprinkle the powder on it, let it stick to it, re-spray it because it locks it in, and then you're done. And it was so easy, and I think it looks great. Well, let me know down in the comments what you thought about this. At this time, I'd like to thank these wonderful people who let me go on these whole Christmas kind of things. If you want to become part of the Patreon family and see what's going on behind the scenes or part of the channel members, you can go ahead and click those buttons. You can also like and share this video because, like I said, this is so easy, and putting up the lights was really simple. It gives it a full, nice look to the tree. I'm enjoying this. Well, Merry Christmas, even though it's a little early. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I get to see you again the next time you stop by.